All right. So hello, everybody. My name is Malini, or you can just call me Mal. And today we are going over Google Docs. So what is Google Docs? Google Docs is a free program created by the American tech giant Google. It allows you to edit and create Word documents. For example, Google Docs can be used to create professional resumes or attractive posters. It is very similar to Microsoft Word. How to access Google Docs. You can go to Google Docs in several ways. You can first visit the website, which is docs.google.com on your browser. It works on all browsers, I think. Or you could download the Google Docs app, which is available on the Apple App Store or on Google Play. And just one thing to keep in mind is that make sure you have a Google account already so that you can use Google Docs for free. And this link over here is a link that will direct you to a brief tutorial on how to make a Google account. In case you do not have one, you will be able to click on the link when Carly sends you this email after the session. All right, how do you download Google Docs? So for Apple devices, you click on your iPhone or iPad on the App Store app, and on Android devices, you can go on the Google Play Store app. Then you search for Google Docs in the search bar at the top, and you click Install or Get. Some of the benefits of using Google Docs are that, unlike Word, the features of Google Docs are all for free, and you do not have to pay extra to access any extra functions. It also has many unique functions that Word does not offer, such as voice typing. Security is also another great benefit of using Google Docs, because you can choose who views, edits, and comments on your documents. Some of the cons of Google Docs is that it is not very efficient in positioning images, creating templates, or table formatting. But Word does cost money to access, and at the same time, Google Docs is much easier to use than Word. 90% of users say that Google Docs has enough functions so that the additional functions in Word are not better. Oops, sorry. All right. So some of the additional features of Google Docs that many people find helpful are voice typing. So voice typing is a unique feature in Google Docs that turns your speech into text. That way you can write on Google Docs without having to actually type. And this is a link to a YouTube video that explains how to use the feature. Once again, you will be able to click the link when Carly sends you the email after the session. Google Docs also has a variety of templates, and you can choose them depending on what you would like to do. Well, you can create resumes, simplistic posters, grocery lists, cover letters, or even brochures. And if you're not happy with the templates, you can also create your own designs. Now we will be doing a live demonstration on Google Docs. So to access Google Docs, you can go to docs.google.com. And you will be directed to the Google Docs page. So when you start a new document, you can choose between a variety of templates, or you can start from scratch. So to see some of the templates that they offer, you can click Template Gallery right over here. And all of the options come up, and you can use this to scroll. I believe you can also search for them. I'm not sure where the search bar is. I might be mistaken. And for our purposes, we're just going to be using a blank document. So I'm just going to click over here with the plus sign, and it'll make a new document for you to use. Once it's loaded, the first thing that you might want to do is title your document so that you can easily find it. So to do this, you would click over here where it says Untitled Document in the top left corner. And this allows you to just rename your document to whatever you would like. I'm just calling it Cyber Seniors Demo. And a good thing about Google Docs is that it saves automatically as long as you have Wi-Fi. So it has already begun to save everything that you have done on the document so far. You can now start typing in your document. So I have something on my clipboard that I'm just going to paste. And you can obviously type by yourself just by using your keyboard. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to be looking at is formatting text. This is very important and also very helpful to make words stand out or just make your document look nice. So to change the colors, fonts, and sizes, etc., you highlight the part of the text that you would like to change. And then you can use these tools at the top to change how the text looks. So if you would like to change the font, you go over here where it says Arial. Arial is the default font, and these are all of the fonts that you can choose from. I'm just going to choose Laura. And you just click on it and it automatically changes the font. You can also change the size by using this plus and minus button, or you can manually do it by yourself. So 14, for example, is a common size font. These buttons over here, this is bold, and you just have to click on it and click on it again if you'd like to undo that. This is italics, underlining, and this button right here with the A and the black line underneath, this is the color of the text. So all you have to do is click on this and you get a variety of colors to choose from. And you just click on the color that you would like and the words change to that color. You can also highlight the text by clicking this highlighter right here and then choosing a color that you would like. And it is automatically highlighted for you. You can also make your text a title or a heading. And if you do this, it'll show up over here and you can jump to those. So if you have a lot of information on your Google Doc, headings would be helpful so that you can click them and find the part of the Google Doc that you would like to use. Okay, now we will be looking at this bar of the application. So this is the undo button and this is the redo button. In case you accidentally delete everything on your Google Doc, you can just click the undo button and everything will come back. The redo button is in case you want to go back to what you had before. This icon right here is a printer, and if you click on it, you can print your document. So if you have a printer connected to your computer, then this option will show up. And you can just click cancel to exit that. This over here is spell check. So this is very helpful in case you have some words that are spelled wrong. You can just click this button and it would tell you what changes you need to make or if your document is all right. Right now, there's no mistake, so it just says document is looking good. You can also, this is a paint format button. So with all of your formatting, if you would like to copy that to another part of the document, you can just click this and it will take all of your format changes and take it to another part of the document. I personally don't use it very much, but it might be helpful if you did a lot of formatting on your Google Doc and you would like to use it a lot. This 100% right here is a zooming function. So if you would like to look at your words very closely, you could zoom in more by clicking a higher percentage, or you could zoom out more like this. I believe you can also choose your own, like manually enter it. And I'm just going to go back to 100 so we can all see very clearly. Now we will be looking at, we already went over all of this. This is the text formatting. Okay, now we're looking at alignment. So to use this, you highlight the text that you would like to align. And this is left align, this is center align, right align, and this is justify. So it'll all be even. And depending on what you would like, you can use these functions by just clicking on them. This right here is a spacing tool. So this can change the space in between each line. All you have to do is highlight the text, click on it, and then you get a bunch of options over here. If you would like double spacing, you can just click double, and it changes the spacing for your words. Numbering and bullets is also available for Google Docs. So all you have to do is go to the sentence that you would like to add a bullet point to, and just click this button right here, and you get bullet points. If you click the arrow next to it, you get many different options of types of bullet points. So you can change it to checkboxes if you would like. And you could also do a numbered list if you do not want to use bullet points. All you have to do is click this button right here with the 1, 2, 3, and you automatically get numbers for your list. Now we are looking at indenting, and this just changes the formatting a little bit. So if you click decrease indent, it would decrease the indent. And if you click increase, it would give you a little bit of a bigger indent on your document. Okay, so that is the main toolbar. Now we will be going through all of the options in this file section right over here, which is at the top left. So when you click file, you get a bunch of different options. The first thing that we are looking at is share. So if you click share, you have the ability to share your document with other people. All you have to do is type in the email of the person. I'm just going to be using my student account. And if you use the email frequently, it would show up here as a suggestion. But if not, you can just type in the whole thing. And once you have chosen your person, you can add more over here by just typing more over here. And if the email is invalid, it'll show up like this, and you can just click the X to get rid of it. You can change the permission of the person, the role that the person would play, by clicking this button over here that says editor. So you can make them a viewer, a commenter, or just an editor. You can also attach a message to your sharing. And when you are all ready to send it, all you do is click this blue button right here, and it sends the document to the person. And now they can use the document with you live in real time. The next option that we're looking at in file is new. So what new is just another area that you can open a new document from, or any other Google spreadsheet, presentation, form, etc. It's just another place that you can open a new document from. You can also make a copy of this document in case you would like to share just a copy of the document with someone and not the original. Email, you can email this file as an attachment rather than sharing it. So I don't think they would be able to edit it if you send it like this. And it's just a way of emailing it if you do not want to give them any permissions. You can also download this document. You have the option to download it as multiple things. So I think the most commonly used one is a PDF, but you can also download it as a Word document and many more options over here. Make available offline. So this function is available for if you would like to use the document without Wi-Fi. It is very helpful, and if you just click it, it will say document is now available offline, and you will be able to use the document offline. I'm just going to uncheck that right now. Okay. Now we are looking at version history. So version history is a way of seeing different versions of the document. So if I wanted to see what stage the document was at yesterday, I could go here and click See Version History, and then I can just see what the document looked like yesterday. I just made the document, so there is no yesterday, but you can go ahead and click here and look at all of the different times, and it'll show you what the document looked like at those times. You also have the option to restore this version if you would like to. Another thing that you can access from File is the ability to rename your document. If you wanted to change the name, you could just go to File and click Rename, and then it lets you change the name of it. And you can delete the document from here. And another thing that we will be looking into a little bit more in detail is publish to the web. So this will allow it to go on the internet. And this is if you want to publish this as an article or something like that, you can use this function right here, and you can click publish and it will be on the internet. And lastly, for File, we will be looking at page setup. This is pretty important because from here you can change the size of all of your margins, and you can change if you want it to be a portrait or a landscape, as well as the size of the paper and the color of the paper. Now we will be looking at the edit section. So here we already went over a lot of this. Again, you have the undo and redo button. You also have copy and paste from here, and the shortcuts are listed here as well. And find and replace is helpful. So if you click this, you can find words in your Google document, for example, Google, and you can replace it with any word that you would like. So if you wanted to change the word Google to maybe a short form, maybe just G, then you can enter your information and click replace. And oh, I don't think I did it right, but it worked for one of them. I'm not really sure how to use this function.
Yeah, if you want me to, I can.
Yes, please.
So for that one, it did work. So when you click replace, it replaces one at a time. And then beside that, there's another button which will take all 8 copies of it and replace all 8. Otherwise, you can keep pressing replace and it will replace each.
Oh, okay, I see. Thank you so much. So now all of the Googles are replaced with a simple G. That is very helpful if you decided to change something in your document. It is really easy to change everything at once, like Lori just helped me out with. Now we are looking at the view section. So when you click view, you get all of these options. Print layout is what it would look like if you printed the document. So it is already in print layout, but if you remove it, not much really changes. Depends on how you formatted your document. Show ruler, it shows you at the top there's a ruler for looking at your margins. So if you do not want that option, you can just uncheck that, and as you can see, all the numbers at the top have disappeared. I'm just going to add that back. And these are all options that you can play around with. Document outline is the headings that I had mentioned earlier. So if you do not want those anymore, you can just uncheck this. And here you can also make your page full screen. Okay, now we are looking at, just a second, let me exit full screen. All right, now we are looking at insert. So from here, you can insert many different things into your Google document. For example, an image. You can click image over here or hover over it, and you get the option to insert images from your computer or from the web or from your Google Photos account and your Google Drive. So I'm just going to search the web for an image really quickly. Maybe I'll look for the Google logo. And when you search for something, a bunch of images will show up. You can click any one you like, and then there is an insert button at the bottom. I just have to move this thing from Zoom for a second. All right, so you can click this blue insert button right over here, and the image will show up on your document. You can click it and resize it using these little squares in the corners, like this. Another thing you can insert is a table. So if you would like to add a table to your document, you can just choose the formatting of the table. and just click it, and it inserts a table for you to enter any information you would like. You can insert a Google drawing and a chart, which is very helpful if you'd like to insert a chart from Google Sheets. So all you have to do is click from Sheets, and all of your sheet documents will show up over here. You can select one and you can insert it into your Google Doc. You can also insert a horizontal line, a date, and a footnote. Special characters are very helpful if you're doing math, for example. So you can draw symbols here to identify them, or you could just scroll over here and look at all of the different symbols that they have to offer. And you can also add page numbers from here. This is very helpful if you have a very long document. And I think those are all the important things from this section. Now on to formatting. This is also a lot of repeating stuff, like changing the style of the text, the paragraph styles as with the headings, and line spacing, columns, bullet and numbering. All of these can be accessed at the bar over here that I showed you before. And here you can also clear formatting, so you can remove all of the formatting that you've done. You just have to highlight the text that you would like to clear. Now we'll be looking at tools. So under spelling and grammar, you can do a spell check, and you can choose if you want Google to tell you spelling suggestions and grammar suggestions. You can also look at your personal dictionary. So if you have any words in your dictionary, you can access that from here. You can use the word count function. So if you click on it, it'll tell you how many words you have in this document, how many characters, and this is helpful if you have a word limit that you must stick to. You can also do citations from here. If you just click citations, you have the option to choose what type of citation you would like, and it'll guide you through the process as you go along. I think the most appealing option over here is voice typing. So if you choose voice typing, you will be able to just talk and it would type it for you. So once you click that, you just have to change your language if you need to, and then just click the mic, and when you speak, it'll type what you say for you. You can also look at the accessibility settings. So screen reader report support is helpful for Braille support if you have a connection that you would like to connect it with for Braille. And it'll also tell you when people exit and enter your Google document. There are many options over here, and you can click Learn More if you need any help with any of these options. And I think that is it for the tool section. For the add-on section, you can just click here, and some documents have add-ons. So what this means is that it is a document attached to another, or it is just another type of website that you can attach to your Google document. I personally have never used this before, so if any of the other volunteers have, they can help you out in the breakout rooms. Unfortunately, I don't know much about it. And finally, the help section. This is where you can go if you have any other questions about Google Docs. You can go to Docs Help, and it will open up this thing for you where it can answer any of your questions, and you can search for specific questions, or you can look at the popular searches that people have done. You can also look at the privacy policy in terms of service if you need to. And here you can also see all of the keyboard shortcuts by clicking on this. This is helpful if you want to learn how to use Google Docs a little bit more efficiently. You can also search at the top. And one of the other things that we're looking at is the last edit function. So this is similar to the version history. I think it is the same thing actually. That is over here. It tells you when the last edit was, and it also tells you everything that was done. So this is the version history thing that we looked at before. Now for comments, all you have to add a comment to a Google Doc, you highlight the part that you want to comment on, like that. And then there's this button over here. It looks like a little comment with a plus sign. All you have to do is click that, and you can leave a comment here. And just click this button over here. And your comment has been added, and it shows you which part the comment is referring to. The share button is another way to access the sharing feature, like we did at the file. And some of the other things that Google offers are over here as well. So if you would like, you can use your Google Calendar, your Keep Notes, and your tasks from this section over here. This is just another thing that Google has integrated all together. So while you're typing on your Google Doc, if you'd like to check something on your calendar, you could just click this button over here, and it would bring up your calendar on the right of the screen. Same with your Keep Notes and your tasks. And finally, when you right-click on whatever text you have on the screen, like this, you have the option to format things from here. So you can copy things, you can paste it, or you can leave a comment on it, you can save it to keep. There's many things that you can do from here. I believe we went over most of it. Or you could just delete the word that you have highlighted. And to see all of your Google Docs, all you have to do is go back to the Google Docs homepage. So you can do this by going to docs.google.com, or you can click this in the left corner, there's a blue document. If you click that, it takes you to the home screen of Google Docs. And here we are back at the home screen, where if you scroll down a little bit, you can see all of the documents that you have made. You can also search for documents by name. So if you need a document specifically, you have it over here. For example, one of my documents is called Material List. And you can search for documents like that. You can also see what documents are owned by you specifically or owned by somebody else by clicking over here, owned by anyone, and then filtering which documents are owned by yourself and which are owned by somebody else. Another thing you can do from the home screen is rename documents. So all you have to do is click on the three dots of the document and click rename. You can also delete the document from here, and you can, of course, open it. And I think that is everything.